I put 17 microphones to the ultimate test. Some condensers, some dynamics, in two insane environments. One full of chaos, echo, and a screaming neighbor, and one so quiet you could hear a mosquito sigh. The results? Absolute madness. If you've ever wondered which mic is better, the condenser or the dynamic, stop, because you're asking the wrong question. And by the end of this video, you'll never look at microphones the same way again. There I was, sitting in front of 17 microphones. Some condensers, some dynamics, ready to settle one of the dumbest debates of all time. Which is better? Now, if you're a normal person with hobbies that doesn't involve talking to inanimate objects like I do, you might be thinking, it's just a microphone. Who cares? Well, my friend, Turbo the Tech Nerd cares. A lot. I've seen friendships destroyed over this, people getting kicked out of recording studios, entire internet forums filled with arguments that make ancient philosophers look like toddlers fighting over a juice box. So I decided to finally end the debate once and for all. I set up two test scenarios. Number one scenario was the chaos chamber, we called it. A normal everyday room with echo, a loud fridge, and a neighbor yelling at his cat, and my dog aggressively licking his own junk. And number two scenario was the Zen Zone, a soundproof studio so quiet you can hear a flea sneeze. I thought this would be an easy experiment. Just talk into all 17 mics, compare the recordings, and boom, science wins. Wasn't really ready for what happened next. Test number one was the noisy room, also known as my first mistake. The second I hit record, the microphones reacted. Like a group of strangers stuck in an elevator during a power outage. Everyone handled the chaos very differently. Condenser mics. We can call them the panicked overachievers. The condenser mics immediately started freaking out. My chair creaked, it captured it. In full HD surround sound. My fridge buzzed, louder than my voice. My neighbor Steve screamed, "Mittens! Get down from there!" Congratulations. We're now recording a live-action soap opera. One condenser mic was so sensitive, I swear it recorded my thoughts. When I played it back, I could hear myself thinking.
Did I leave the oven on? Why does Steve even have a cat if they hate each other? Do I still remember my Netflix password?
At this point, the condensers were one step away from having a mental breakdown. But the dynamic mics, the chill, unbothered jocks, meanwhile, the dynamic mics didn't care at all. Background noise? Just ignored it. The humming fridge? Didn't exist. Steve screaming at his cat? Not their problem. It was like the condensers were straight-A students panicking over an extra credit, while the dynamic mics were the cool kids who only showed up to class because, well, the teacher took attendance. At this point, I was starting to realize something very important. These mics should never be compared. But did I stop the experiment? No. I had science to do. And in test number two, the sound-treated room where the plot thickens, I entered the Zen Zone. A professionally sound-treated room. No echoes, no background noise, no distractions. It was so quiet that I started questioning my own existence. And then something unexpected happened. The condenser mics were thriving. The condensers, which had been having a nervous breakdown in the noisy room, suddenly transformed into majestic creatures of audio perfection. Every subtle nuance of my voice captured beautifully. The richness of my tone, more buttery than movie theater popcorn. A single, nearly imperceptible lip smack. A single, nearly imperceptible lip smack, louder than a car crash. It was like the condensers had just been waiting for the right conditions to show off. Like a cat that ignores you for 5 hours, but suddenly decides it wants attention. Right when you're busy. And the dynamic mics? Well, they were feeling kind of useless. Meanwhile, the dynamic mics, so cool and confident in the noisy room and on a stage, sounded like they were having an existential crisis. With nothing to filter out, they just sounded kinda dull. Like a DJ playing music at an empty party. Like bringing a monster truck to a chess match. Like trying to cook a gourmet meal in a microwave. They just weren't built for this. It was at that moment that I realized this whole experiment was a terrible idea. If you could only use one mic for the rest of your life, condenser or dynamic, which one would you choose and why? And you'll get bonus points for the most ridiculous reason. Drop your answer in the comments below. The aftermath. My microphone identity crisis. I sat there staring at the 17 microphones, wondering why I had just wasted an entire day on this. And that's when it hit me. Comparing condenser mics to dynamic mics is like comparing a telescope to a pair of sunglasses. Both are cool, both are useful, but for completely different reasons. Need to capture every tiny sound in a quiet space? The condenser mic wins. Need something strong enough to survive a noisy environment? Dynamic mic all day. And yet people still ask, which one is better? That's like asking what's better, a Ferrari or a monster truck? Well, are you racing or running things over? Or what's better, a ninja or a sumo wrestler? Well, are we sneaking into a castle or smashing through a wall? What's better, a spoon or a fork? Well, are we eating soup or stabbing something delicious? Warning! Watching this video without subscribing may cause spontaneous mic confusion, uncontrollable sadness, and an intense desire to debate audio gear with strangers. Don't risk it. Hit that subscribe button now. It's free, it's fun, and it prevents unnecessary mic-related identity crises. This is the Sennheiser E906. Not meant for vocals, that's the noise floor. This Sennheiser E906 is going directly into the I/O Station 24C with no phantom power because it is a dynamic microphone. This is an untreated room. So here we are now in a sound-treated room, and this is the Sennheiser E906. This is a heavily treated room. I'll show it to you at the end of the video if you want to stick around till the end. This is the Shure SM7B. Let's have a look at the settings on the I/O Station 24C from PreSonus. The Shure SM7B is a dynamic microphone, meaning that it does not require phantom power. However, as you can see, it does require a lot of gain. I'm doing my best to level match all of these. The only processing that will be in this video will be a limiter so that everything is limited to exactly the same volume. And here we are now in the studio with the Shure SM7B. As you can tell, this is a heavily sound-treated room, and like I said, if you stick around to the end, I'll just give you a 360 of the room so you can see what I'm working with. Again, this is the Shure SM7B in a treated room. There is no processing on this signal. All of the audio from all of the clips will remain at the exact same settings as they were in the untreated room. This is the Rode Pod mic, also a dynamic microphone. This is the room noise. The furnace is on. No 48 volts required for a dynamic microphone. And here we are again with the Rode Pod mic. This is in a treated room in my studio, and this is what the Rode Pod mic sounds like. Here's a little bit of noise floor. There is nothing on in this room except my laptop fan. We may notice that later on with the condenser microphones. This is the Shure SM58, probably the most famous microphone in the entire world. It is a dynamic microphone, and there is no processing on this signal. This is the settings on the PreSonus I/O Station 24C. This is the room noise. The furnace is on. And here we are on to the infamous SM58, and this is what this microphone sounds like in a treated room. I don't know what to say right now, so I'll just keep talking for no reason, and we'll move on to the next one. This is a Chinese knockoff of the Shure SM57, also for some reason called an SM57. This is the room noise. Remember, this audio is not processed, only limited. Let's have a look at the gain settings on the PreSonus I/O Station 24C. And here we are in a treated room with the SM57 copy. This is still a dynamic microphone, if you can believe it. It didn't change while we changed positions in the house. This is the noise floor. This is a Chinese knockoff of the Shure SM58. Let's have a look at the settings on the I/O station 24C. This signal is unprocessed. The furnace is still on. Let's have a listen to the noise floor. And this is the fake SM58 in a sound-treated room. In fact, the room is heavily treated. This is what the noise floor sounds like. This is the Chinese knockoff of the Shure Beta 87A. The signal is unprocessed. Let's have a look at the settings on the I/O station 24C. This is in an untreated room. The furnace is on. And moving right along, this is the fake 87A Beta. It's kind of funny because this little blue ring is just an elastic band wrapped around the microphone. This is what it sounds like in a sound-treated room. And this is the noise floor. This is the Chinese knockoff of the Sennheiser E935 in an untreated room. Let's have a look at the gain settings on the I/O station 24C from PreSonus. This is what the room's noise floor sounds like with the furnace on. There is no processing on this signal except for limiting. And this is what the fake E935 sounds like in a sound-treated room. Are you guys starting to get the picture yet? Keep going. There's a total of 17 mics in this video. This is the Chinese copy of the Shure Super 55. Yes, I'm hand-holding it because it will not fit on the boom arm, because cheap microphones don't, because the XLR input is too close to the mic connection. This is what it sounds like in an untreated room. And this is the knockoff of the Super 55 that I bought all the way from China. Sorry, not sorry. I bought it so that I could show everyone that cheap mics are sometimes just as good as expensive microphones, but they just serve different purposes. This is in a sound-treated room, and this is the noise floor. This is a Chinese knockoff of a Telefunken condenser microphone. You'll notice that the levels are dramatically different on the PreSonus I/O station 24C. It's much more efficient when you use 48-volt condenser microphones. The capsule is much larger, so it hears a lot more of the room. Let's listen to that. The furnace is still on. And this is the Telefunken knockoff called the V22. And here we are in a sound-treated room. This is what the noise floor sounds like. Remember, I've kept all of the settings the same for each microphone. This is the Sennheiser MKE600. It is a condenser microphone. This is an untreated room. The furnace is on. And this microphone, because it's a condenser, requires 48-volt phantom power. And sticking with the Sennheiser MKE600, this is what it sounds like in a sound-treated room. A heavily sound-treated room. Again, stick around to the end of the video, and I'll show you my space. These are the Sennheiser knockoffs of small condenser microphones. They came from China, I'm sorry. They require 48 volts of phantom power, and this is what they sound like in an untreated room. This is the noise floor. These are the settings on the PreSonus I/O station 24C. And this is what the Chinese knockoffs of the Sennheiser shotguns sound like in a treated room. This is the noise floor. Awkward. This is the Chinese Pro R C414 in an untreated room with the furnace on. This is a condenser microphone, so it requires 48 volts of phantom power. These are the settings on the I/O station 24C. And keeping with the Pro RC414, which is the AKG 414 replica, or copy, or fake as it were, this is what it sounds like in a treated room when the furnace is on. This is the noise floor. And you may notice that you can actually hear the furnace better in a treated room. I could process it out using a low-cut filter, but that would defeat the purpose of what we're trying to show here. Right? This is the Pro R. I'm not sure what mic it's supposed to be because they don't name it, but I would assume it's targeted at Austrian Audio OC16. And this is what it sounds like in an untreated room. This is what the noise floor sounds like. And these are the settings on the PreSonus I/O Station 24C. Man, that's a mouthful. And still with the Pro R, we'll call it the OC16, because I don't really know what it's supposed to be modeled after. It literally has no model name on the listing. This is what it sounds like in a treated room. And this is what it sounds like with the noise floor. Keep in mind, the furnace has come on in this treated room, and there's no processing on the signal whatsoever still, except for the limiter. You may realize this is why you need to shut your furnace off while you record, especially if you're using a condenser microphone. This is the Rode NT2A, another condenser microphone. It has multiple polar patterns, but I have everything set to flat. It has high pass and low pass filters and a pad. Again, everything is set to flat, and this is what it sounds like in an untreated room. The furnace is still on. And moving right along, this is the Rode NT2A in a sound-treated room, a heavily sound-treated room. This is the second last microphone before I go to my conclusion to explain what the purpose of all of this was in a little more detail. This is the noise floor of the Rode NT2A with the furnace on. And this is my new favorite microphone, the Lewitt Ray. The furnace is still on and the fridge is running. All of the devices that are on this microphone, such as the Aura technology and auto mute, are in the off position. This is what it sounds like in an untreated room. And finally, the Lewitt Ray in a sound-treated room. If you haven't seen this mic on my other videos, you can check it out right here. This is the Lewitt Ray in a sound-treated room. Yes, the furnace is on. I've intentionally not edited this out because these are the circumstances you're going to deal with, especially if you're a streamer or a podcaster. Typically, you don't shut your parents' heat off if you're streaming, or if you're an adult, you're probably not going to want to shut your heat off either. Anyway, this is the Lewitt Ray in a heavily sound-treated room. On to the final conclusions. Just for fun, let's turn the Aura technology on the Lewitt Ray. So what the Aura technology does in this microphone is it allows you to move away from the microphone, and it determines how far you are away, and it adjusts the gain automatically so that no matter how fast or how slow you move, well, speed might matter a little bit, but what's more important is the distance that you move away. It determines where to set your gain. So I'm leaning way back. I'm a couple feet away from the microphone here. And if I move in closer to where I should get the proximity effect, it has very little effect. Final verdict is stop the madness. If you ever feel the urge to compare a condenser mic to a dynamic mic, just remember, I tried it for you. It ended in absolute chaos in one room and an identity crisis in the other. Instead of debating which mic is better, ask yourself this: what do I actually need it for? And if you ever decide to record 17 mics at once like I did, just know that you're about to go on a journey of pain, regret, and, well, Steve's ongoing cat drama. If you want to see more in-depth mic reviews, just click into this playlist on the screen now. And for the love of audio, Ryan Trahan, stop holding on to your lav mic. It's supposed to go on your lapel. That's why it's otherwise known as a lapel mic. I'm Turbo the Tech Nerd. I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching.